countdown screen. So so we can do the test audio. It's a little bit behind. Chris, do you want to try leaving and rejoining and see if
let me do that.
there he is. Let's try.
All right, I can hear you, Megan.
Hello, can you hear me now? No?
He's got nothing. Okay, Chris, how about you just stay on and I'll just leave this one.
Sounds good.
Okay. Sorry about that.
But Chad, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
That's odd.
Well, we are live, back again with Giving Tuesday now with the Greater Salina Community Foundation. And I'm Megan Roble and joined by Chris LaHecca. We are with the Community Foundation. And our guest this half hour is Chad Young with the Salina Rescue Mission. You'll have to bear with us. We have run into a little technical difficulty. Chris can't hear Chad, but Chad can hear Chris. So it's going to be an interesting conversation that we're going to have here. But good morning, Chad. Welcome to the stream. We're excited to have you. Thanks for joining us. How's everything going over there?
Well, you know, things are going as well as could be expected during these challenging times. So, but overall, things are going well. Yeah.
So what kinds of, I guess, to start out, what kinds of things have been positive that have come out of this challenging time? There's been a lot of, changes and hardships that have come upon us, but what generosity have you seen?
So I guess I'd like to phrase that this way. We serve a population that is going through a lot of different struggles. And when all of this coronavirus thing came up, none of us had been through this before. We haven't been through this before as a nonprofit. We haven't been through this as a community or as a nation. And we consider ourselves as kind of having ourselves together, right? Well, we're serving a community of people here that they're struggling in their everyday life. And their struggles did not go away just because this pandemic came. So they have all the struggles they originally had, plus now they have the extra anxiety of this pandemic that leaves us feeling uncertain, maybe feeling a little unsafe. And we wonder, how am I going to make it through this? Some of them were already wondering, how am I going to make it through this before the pandemic started? So here we are, we're having to rise up to the occasion to help them understand, say, hey, we're still going to be here with you. We're still going to be supporting you. We're not going anywhere. We're going to help you through this together. And so, just first of all, helping people to understand that the Salina Rescue Mission is not shutting our doors. We're going to continue to be here serving you. We're going to continue to do everything we can do. We are going to have to change how we go about doing that, how we go about delivering our services, so that we can do this in such a way that's safest for everybody in our community. And so, one of the, I guess, the positives that you were asking about is, first of all, we've challenged our team here at the mission. Are we going to rise up to the occasion? And our team has resoundingly said, yes, we're in it. We're going to rise up to the occasion. We're going to work together through this, and we're going to work to find solutions. And that's what's really been so encouraging to me is nobody's quit. Nobody's given up. Nobody said, oh, this is too tough. We all just, put on our big boy pants, so to speak. And we said, okay, let's roll up our sleeves and let's get the job done. And so that's been a pretty positive thing. The other positive thing is how we've been going through this, because we've had to do a lot of things to adapt. And I'm going to come back to that in just a moment. But as we think about all the things we've had to do to adapt, and the time that we've spent kind of waiting for the community to start reopening, we've had some time to reflect on what's really important. And that, to me, is about the most positive thing that comes out of all of this. We've all been challenged to think
because we've had
about
to do a
what
lot.
is the most important. What is the most important thing to us? What's the most important thing in our recovery, helping us to move forward? What is it that we really miss that we didn't realize we would miss until we couldn't have it? And so it really challenges us to reprioritize ourselves in our lives and to value those things that maybe we didn't realize we valued quite so much.
You just hit the nail on the head. And I hate to say it because this time, like you said, has been so hard for so many people. But I think the only way to get through it is to just continue to look at what's been good. And that's something that personally I've been able to hold on to is, well, I've been able to kind of refocus, at least for myself personally. And I know some of my friends, and I think Chris, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, and actually I pulled up the feed on Facebook, so I got to hear
cool.
part of Chad talking there. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, feel free to chime in. We're talking about how this pandemic has allowed us to kind of reframe our priorities in life. And I think it's just been really nice. I think a lot of people have found that it's nice to see what's really important and to really find those values. And I hope that for a lot of our community, one of those values, excuse me, I'm going to cough, has been the community that we live in and looking around at ways that they can help and that they can give back. So, in addition to ways that you've adapted, what are some things that people can continue to do to help you adapt, and how can they continue to help you carry out your mission? Because I love what you said about your team. They haven't quit. They are all in. And I think anybody is able to get behind that. So how can we all jump in and help you?
Well, as we as we look to go forward, we've got to remember, first of all, the Salina Rescue Mission has been here in the community for 39 years. We've been here helping our homeless community, and this came long before this coronavirus thing, and we're going to be here a long time after. And so we don't center our framework of who we are and what we do around the coronavirus. We set our framework of who we are and what we do around what our mission is and what our values are. And so we have to keep on moving forward, remembering we're here in our community to help homeless men get off the streets, get work on whatever life issues that cause them to get on the streets to begin with, and then start helping them to put the pieces back together to get back on their own 2 feet. One of the challenges that we've had along the way is this: we want the community to better understand who we are and what we do. I'm always talking to different people in the community, and I get a lot of this: I've heard of the Salina Rescue Mission. But when I ask them, do you know what we do? Most of the community still isn't that aware of what all we do here. And so I really want to help set up the framework of saying most people in the community know us as a homeless shelter for men in our community. And I would like to turn that just a little bit and say we're more than a homeless shelter. What we are is a transformation center for men who are struggling with life and helping them to get the pieces back together. And we have programs that we've set up to help them do that. We have an employment program. Most people don't realize this, but the majority of the men who are staying here at the mission are working. They're not just sitting around loafing, waiting on another handout. They're working towards goals. And that's one thing that's very important that we do here is we help the guys sit down, we understand their struggles, we understand what they're doing, and then we help them start setting some goals, and then we start working on those goals. So our employment program, we had an average employment rate of 65% of our guests were employed going into the coronavirus pandemic. Yes, that has changed since, but we want to get back there and even, if possible, supersede that. So we want to keep on working on those important goals. We want to continue to provide life-transforming programs such as our New Life program, which is a long-term Christian-based recovery program helping guys to overcome addictions and other life struggles and help them to walk through the process of forgiveness, letting go of the past, embracing who they are in Jesus Christ, and moving forward as a new creation in Christ. And that takes a long time, you know. Real deep, meaningful changes like that don't happen overnight. It goes through a process of steps, and it takes time. And so we're committed to doing that. We have a medical mental health program that helps guys who are struggling with mental health issues, or maybe they used to work and they worked for a long time, and then they had a host of physical health issues come upon them that led to them losing their job. And so we have to help those people to start working on wellness and what does it mean to be as healthy as you can be. And once you get as healthy as you can be, then start setting some goals for what a long-term vision for your life is. We have a street outreach program where we send our staff out into the community to check up on homeless people within the community, and we just let them know, hey, we love you, we care about you, you're important to us. So we go out to them and we meet them on their terms, and we take an opportunity to minister to them and invite them to the mission, and say, hey, when you're ready for greater help, come to the mission and we'll be glad to help you. And in that process, we give out sack lunches, bottled water, toiletries, in the wintertime, blankets and gloves, hats. And so those are some ways that we get to go out into the community and share with them just how much they mean to us.
And like you said, the pandemic hasn't changed that need, has it?
No, it has not. And so, when we think about the long-term needs here at the mission, we want to get back to these long-term goals. Yes, we've had to adjust to the pandemic, and we've had to adjust how we take people into the mission. We've had to adjust the criteria of entry. We've had to go through a process of changing how we serve our meals, because we served 54,000 meals this past year. And it's not just to the homeless men who come here, but it's to anybody in the community who's in need of a meal. And so we've had to change our meal service so that when somebody comes to the door needing a meal, we bring a to-go container for them. So that way we're not, bringing outside people into the mission and sharing any further possible contamination anywhere. And so we've had to adapt, but our long-term goals is we want to keep serving the community. And some vital things have come to mind from that. We miss our volunteers. We miss our volunteers. Gosh, they help us so much. And we have come to depend on them. And now going through this time when we don't have our volunteers in the building, it's hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt, and we miss them, and so we're really looking forward to being able to have our volunteers come back into the mission. And so we're looking forward to getting that. So that's one way people can continue to help us going forward, is we'll need volunteers again. We're anxious to get you back in here. Donate items of need such as food, toiletries, laundry detergent, towels, men's clothing, all the things that you use at your house, we use here too. And so just keep that in mind. If you're going to the store and you see something on sale and it's a great bargain, pick up an extra one and drop it off here at the mission. And of course, we do need continued financial support. And so financial support is a great way to meet the immediate needs, as well as can be for the long-term needs as well. And I tell you, the mission is built upon the community support. We can't do what we do without the support of the community. And so on behalf of the rescue mission and everybody that we serve here, I just want to say thank you to Salina and the surrounding communities for your care, your compassion, your generosity, and helping those people in need in our community. We really, really appreciate it. And the last thing a person can do, which should have been the first thing a person can do, is pray for us. Pray for us, pray for the men that we're helping here, and pray for God's provision for us.
Well, thank you so much, Chad, for your time. I don't know if you could see, we got a couple comments in while you were talking, and you were saying so many great things and thanking the community. And I think the message, the feeling is mutual. There are a couple great messages to you that you can go back and look at, but they say thank you for helping the community. And we just love how mission centered you are, and just staying focused on helping and not being so bogged down in the negative, but just staying positive and providing such a light for people that need it the most. So thank you so much for your words of encouragement and your positivity, and for all that you've done for our community. Chris will go back and catch up on our interview.
Yes.
Have something to share. I'm so sorry you didn't get to join us more, Chris, because you would have loved this conversation for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I got to hear bits and pieces through Facebook, online there, but hey, I do remember one little. I don't know if you mentioned it already, but one little piece that you brought up when we talked last, Chad, was a basic need you guys always were in need of was some ground beef and vegetables. Are you guys finding a good source for that?
Yeah, I tell you what, we live in an awesome, awesome community. We have had some ranchers step up recently and just bless us with some ground beef. And so thank you, thank you, thank you to the community. We are so humbled and blessed. And yes, we can continue to use canned vegetables. Remember, we served over 54,000 meals this past year. That this meat will be used. The canned vegetables that we've recently gotten will be used. So it's an ongoing need, is what I'm trying to share. It's not a one and done. So we do want people's continued support for these efforts along the way. So thank you for mentioning that.
Awesome. Well, with that, I think we're about out of time, Chad. I wish we could talk longer, but we have about 9 minutes before our next interview. So thank you again for joining us so much. We encourage everybody again to find the rescue mission on Facebook for more updates from Chad, and then to head over to salinarescuemission.com to learn more about what's happening at the rescue mission. And if you are called to give to the rescue mission, you can do so on their website. So happy Giving Tuesday, Chad. Thanks for joining us, and we'll
Thank
talk to
you.
you soon, okay? Thank you.
All right. God bless. Thank
See you,
you.
Chad.
Bye bye.
All right, Chris is gone, but just so you all know, Chris and I will be back here very shortly with our next guest, which will be Lori Blake from Child Advocacy and Parenting Services. We will be interviewing her about what they are doing for children and families and the services they're providing virtually to them. Before we head out, I'd like to remind you all, if you're not already, jump on Facebook and join. Well, you're already on Facebook if you're watching this, but join our new Give Salina Facebook group where the Greater Salina Community Foundation is working to connect our local nonprofits with givers like you who are looking to make a difference in the community. And in celebration of Giving Tuesday now, we posted a document that has a blank space here. So we would love for you all to get in there, download this and print it and post your pictures. Together, we and I filled in the space with Thrive because, as you can tell with our first two conversations with Angie from the Y and Chad from the Rescue Mission, it's all about teamwork and coming together as a community in times like these. So hop in there, fill out your selfie sheet and send us your photos. And we'll see you in just a few minutes with Lori from CAPS. Talk to you soon.